That's why that thing's there. Okay.
We're being taken over by
Satan himself.
Anonymous. Oh no.
All right. So I think we're live.
Are we live?
I'll just show our little title tag.
Are we here?
There we go.
Is it
Hello.
happening?
Yeah, I can hear me and you.
Well, yeah, you can hear it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up.
I see that we're live.
Okay. See, guys, better than ever. Better than ever. Oh no.
Oh, I hear us.
Can we hear us?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right. We're doing this.
We're so good at
It's
this.
happening.
Voila.
Do you want to risk playing the theme?
I don't know. I guess.
Well,
Why not? Let's just push our chips.
Mark's been on ice for a while if he's still connected
I
in
think I'm
somewhere.
doing this now.
All right. Do you have,
It's
do you have
church
Mark's
chat, church chat with Pastors Dan and Dave.
We hope.
Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
I was waiting for the
Do your
gong.
intro. Oh, wait. Well, I'm afraid to pull that up now.
Hey, I'm Pastor Dan.
I'm Pastor Dave.
And James Adkins is the guy over there sweating bullets,
Yeah.
pushing buttons. We had tech issues last week.
Getting out the duct tape. To
It's
try and
always
fix it.
like, hey, we're going to have to cancel. Sorry. We thought we were good this week.
Mm.
We were going, and then all of a sudden we realized, no, we're not.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But we're back. If you can hear us, wave, say something. But
I see Kelly Bibler
I think we're gonna.
and Holly.
I think we're gonna try to start with our guest.
all
here.
right. If
And by the way, this is what brought everything crashing down last time.
so, we're gonna give it a shot, though.
we're
I'm
gonna
blaming
give
it
a
on
shot.
clergy
Listen,
session.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is a time to be bold.
The time to be bold.
So we're just gonna be really bold here and hope that this works.
All right.
But something about what happened, I don't know. It was right when I connected that everything went down. All right, who's got their fingers crossed? Everybody?
Yep. Let's do it.
Toes too, man.
Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's do this thing. Hello.
All
All right.
right. I think do we have him?
Yeah.
All right.
You can hear 'em,
Wonderful.
right?
Yep.
Welcome, Your Majesty.
I don't think Your Majesty is a proper title. It's
Oh.
close. It's close. So, the Honorable, though,
Here.
Judge Mark Miller of the Ohio 3rd District Court of Appeals. Is that correct? I did the whole thing.
Yay.
Very cool.
Good job.
So, Mark, thanks for being with us. If you don't know, Mark is also a member of St. Mark's, and so that's how we know him. St. Mark's not named after you, just a coincidence. Correct?
Just a coincidence.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Hardly straightforward.
but Mark, thanks for coming on. Sorry we had a little bit of trouble there, but just thought it'd be a great chance to kind of talk with you. You're somebody who serves in our community and has served in our community. You were a judge here in Findlay, and now you're located. Your offices are in Lima now for the Court of Appeals. But if you could just share a little bit about just what was it that just originally led you to kind of wanting to kind of seek out this career path and get you to where you are now?
A fluke. I thought I was going to be a history teacher, quite honestly, and then one day in college saw a thing to take the law school admissions test. So I did, and that took me to Ohio Northern for a law degree, and then from there just sort of went where the job opportunities arose. So sort of a fluke in that regard.
So you've not only been working in the court system, but like I mentioned, you're also a part of our church. And I just wonder, like, for you, sometimes we kind of hold the legal system over on one side, and then we say, then we've got, the church and grace and all this stuff over on the other side. How do you live out your faith as somebody who's a part of the legal system, and how do you see that as a part of how you get to serve as a follower of Jesus?
It's really just helping other people out. That's really what the legal profession is about. People usually only go to the lawyer when they need something done with their will, or they need a problem solved. They need help with that. So that's been, I guess, a big part of that is being able to help other people with those types of things when they have problems, whether that be just a neighbor dispute, family matter, or a criminal matter. And then in that vein, I guess I started in at the prosecutor's office and really enjoyed working with folks there, especially people who have been hurt and victimized by one way or another. And I also enjoyed working with the law enforcement men and women, because they're out there every day. And so when you see all of that kind of stuff, that really brings your faith into focus, sometimes just to get through a day, and then how to be able to help others.
I'm sure you've probably had to lean on your faith too at times. You see some pretty nasty stuff at least in the prosecutor's side, maybe even in the appeals court. So I'm sure your faith plays some part in that too. And my question was, what do you think are some of the challenges facing our area, and from where you stand?
Well, Findlay and Hancock County are no different than other parts of the state. We're very fortunate that we don't have the volume of issues that we see in large metropolitan communities. We don't have all of the violent actions, the volume of crime or drugs, but we have it. So we're not special in that regard. We're a community that's always worked to solve problems, whether that be in the court system, the criminal justice system, flooding, whatever the issue may be. We tend to overstudy things sometimes in our community, but we usually pull together to help one another out. Pastor Dan was at a breakfast honoring him as a mentor for Welcome to a New Life just this past Monday. And, at that breakfast, there was a lot of good folks that are willing to be mentors, to help someone else out, to give a second chance to folks who have been through the criminal system, maybe coming out of jail or prison. So I think that's a true benefit of our communities, that we do have heart. We do reach out to those less fortunate than others, and try to help pick each other up, which is what Christ commissioned us to do.
And I love that you mentioned that, because I think one of the things that's great about being in a community like Findlay, Hancock County area, as opposed to some of these larger, higher volume kind of areas, is that there is the ability for us to be a little bit more relational. I mean, there's still the law in there, but then there's also kind of this ability for everybody to kind of be in partnership together to see the humanity in others, and to kind of help them through that. I was wondering if you could reflect on just how do you see that kind of play out in like a Findlay, Hancock County, maybe as compared to like a Columbus or Toledo or Cleveland or something like that, where there's kind of that ability for law enforcement and nonprofits, whoever it might be, other agencies, to help individuals who are in the system.
Well, and helping others isn't necessarily unique to Findlay, but we take, for example, the opiate crisis. We started on that back in 2010, before other communities. We were able to get a jump on things, thinking we were ahead of the curve, and we brought a lot of resources to bear. And it takes more community effort. The criminal justice system today is expected to fix people. When I started, it was kind of like being how much of a timeout does a parent give to their child? And that was sort of what the criminal justice system was. How much of a timeout do you give somebody who breaks the law? Today, it's much more involved, more time consuming, dealing with issues that people have, whatever traumas may have led them to drugs, that led them to crime or to other actions. I think we're fortunate in Finley because the people who come through the criminal justice system are people who have just had a bad day sometimes. And so law enforcement is able to help with that because they get called to all kinds of different things. So they have a bad day that lands them in front of court somewhere. Sometimes they make bad decisions for whatever reason with the wrong crowd of people at the wrong moment. Sometimes they just have bad habits that we need to work to solve, whether that be drugs or alcohol or other behaviors. And so we're not exempt. We have people who are just bad people. It's not as common in Findlay, in Hancock County, but there is evil out there. So we're able to address those things, and the fact that we do have more folks that just have bad days or bad decisions, we're able to take the time with them and help them through those times. We're very fortunate that we have, as part of our caring community, police officers, men and women who respond and help people. They see people at their worst, at their lowest points in life, and who are having really bad days sometimes. And so we have that caring part of the community all the way through the criminal system. We saw some of that Monday again with the mentor program and taking that into the jails and helping people prepare for coming out back into the community so that they can have the tools and the resources to not reoffend. And that's important as well. One of the things when I was at municipal court, Judge Hackenberg and I tried to help solve some issues with people with driver's license issues, when we started doing driver's license clinics just to get people figuring out how to navigate the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, which sometimes is tedious and gets people caught up with law enforcement when they don't have their driver's license renewed and things of that nature, or people who've had warrants for their arrest and don't know how to fix it. So that's been a real benefit to our community.
I as the more I've gotten involved with it, and you've mentioned Monday a couple of times, we had a Welcome to New Life breakfast where we had a lot of different leaders and people from the city, people who are involved in various nonprofits, people who have just been a part of this new program, Welcome to New Life, that I've been a part of. And it was great to kind of see. I think that's a thing that's unique in some ways to a smaller town too. And I'm sure these things exist in some larger cities, but the ways in which we're able to get those people in the room, to say, hey, we're all on board with helping to see the humanity of others and to help find the right solutions, and for it to not just be blanket sentences or blanket, judgments or whatever for every person, but that we were able to kind of do that together. I just think, kudos to you and to all of those who have been a part of the law enforcement and legal community who have taken the time to, because you wouldn't have to. You could just go by the letter of the law says this, and so, like you said, go to timeout. But we have an opportunity to do it differently. So I appreciate that. I wonder if you could just share, just give you just this one last thing. Just maybe if you could just mention a moment or an event or something that you've gotten to be a part of. That's one of the things that you were most proud to get to be a part of in your time thus far in the legal system, to help bring about a certain result.
I think I really appreciated the opportunity to help victims of crime, whether that's in the courtroom, going through a whole trial, where I've had that, where we've had family of a murder victim or a sex offense victim who is looking for that type of closure. And sometimes it's helping those folks who have been hurt by another find ways to deal with that hurt. So I've always appreciated that aspect and that being able to do that. Sometimes it's actually, as a judge, it's been seeing a person who's come through the courtroom on the street and have them recognize me and make a comment to me that, hey, I'm haven't been in your courtroom for a while. And I'm terrible on names, so I may not remember the name or the face right away, but I'm always glad to hear that they are doing well, and that makes me happy to think that we do have those success stories, and you can take a moment and give a word of encouragement to those folks to do the right thing, be with the right people, so they don't end up making more work for the courts.
Excellent. Yeah, I do remember also, and I don't know how many times you've actually gotten to hear this from someone, but, I remember somebody on Monday kind of giving their testimony saying that, hey, this particular judge, actually put me in jail and it saved my life, and so sometimes giving those judgments are the things that, might save someone. And so thank you so much for all that you do for our community and for this region in Ohio. And glad to have you as a friend and a part of the church. And we really appreciate you. So thanks for taking some time.
Thank you. I'm glad to share some time with you.
All right. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
Take care, Mark.
Thanks.
That last comment you brought up about, a judge kind of saving someone. We had, I know a pastor that's part of his story. Mm-hmm. It was a judge that kind of, he was a judge that showed him some mercy, and it was enough to not only, turn his life around and get into recovery and things, but actually to go into the ministry.
Right. Well, and sometimes the merciful action is to say, let's have another chance. Go on out. Sometimes the merciful action is to say, you need to sit here for a little while, or something of that nature.
For sure.
Like sometimes that those are the hard decisions, because one of the things that I've realized in my time starting to do some work in the jails is that, these are people's lives, and it's easy for us to just kind of say, yeah, you did the thing, go do the time or whatever. But the reality is oftentimes they go and they have to just, it doesn't move as fast as what people might think. Like there's people that'll wait like a year for their trial, and they're just sitting and waiting and uncertain and without knowing. And it's and it can be a difficult thing, but sometimes that's really the merciful thing, is for them to be in that place, because they've been on such a downward path of destruction and surrounded by people that are just like, if I let you back out, you aren't going to make it. Like, and it's the merciful thing to do, to say, hey, no, I need you to serve out some of your time here. So it's been, and I'm glad though that it's people like Mark who are making those calls and not me. Because those, I'm glad to have wise people.
Well, he did allude to
positions.
the fact that, and I think we experience this a little bit in ministry, is, sometimes we encounter usual people in unusual circumstances, and it gets them pretty whacked out. You know, it freaks them out, and then they start making goofy decisions. And of course, you and I have both counseled people in that area too. So I don't know that I would. Luckily for us, that's not our job all the time. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, and I appreciate also what he said, sometimes there's people who are just, use the phrase bad people. Like they're just like, they've just got that kind of streak. They're going to make some bad choices. And, I would say bad people, who knows how they got there? Who knows how they got to that point? Everybody's got a story. But then there's also people who you're encountering them on a bad day. They've had just a really bad day, a bad thing happen, a bad circumstance, a bad something, and they made a bad choice. And being able to distinguish between those things, I think is a real show of wisdom. So yeah, I appreciate those folks in our community that help to do that work. So okay, so we've kind of started the show a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Because things were a little different.
That's a
We
nice,
started off the rails, right?
Yeah, we did. So
very nice way to say that.
James, how are we doing?
So far, so good.
All right, we're doing well. So last week we were going to have the mayor on, Christina Mern, and we had to cancel because Jimmy's computer went boom.
Yeah.
But now,
Now we have sound effects.
he's got the computer back up and running, we think.
We think.
And he's got some fun new sound effects. The funniest thing is, so if you didn't see us, we went live a little while ago, thought everything was working. It was really not. There was no audio, which is funny because James was playing with his new sound effects the whole time, and nobody heard any of them. They just got to see us silently laughing like idiots. So
I got my do-over.
you got your do-over. It's
He
all
needs to
good.
be in the press box at Lima Senior. Every time we play them in football.
Yeah.
And it's only when the opposing team,
Yeah, they would make some sort of weird sound effects.
like Homer going, "Doink," or something, when they fumble the ball, or they only do it. It's like they're heckling.
There
the
was a
other team.
great. It used to be called the Florence Freedom. They're now called the Florence YALLs. If you've ever gone on 75 into Kentucky, there's the big water tower. It's painted red and white, and it says Florence YALL. And they have a single A baseball team. Used to be the Freedom, now it's the YALLs. And their sound effect guy was genius, and his board must have been when we lived down there in Cincinnati, we'd go every now and then. It was one of the funniest experiences because the sound effects guy was ruthless, just ruthless to the other team, but also single A baseball. And I don't even know if it was single A. It was like some other league, like Pioneer League or something. I forget what it was, but it was like guys that hadn't even quite made it to single A yet. I don't think it was affiliated in any way with Major League Baseball.
So below the Lake Erie Captains.
Yes,
is what we're saying.
and it was an AstroTurf field, but not just like you've seen the AstroTurf fields, right? But they still have dirt infields. No, not here. All AstroTurf, painted dirt, like it was green, but painted where dirt would be.
Nice.
And so ground balls are just screaming at these poor guys who aren't good enough to be played. It's an amazing time. One time we went, and there was a guy that had a little petting zoo, and he's just walking his miniature donkey around through the rows so people could pet the donkey. It was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen in my life. But anyway, all that to say, James has new sound effects.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
And a potential future. Yes. In sports.
So this is your audition for the Florence YALLs right here. Okay. A few things we need to get to, and then we have a big announcement at the end of the show. But a few things that we need to get to. We talked about this. No one heard it. But we didn't have church chat last week because of the computer thing. But then nobody got to see us on Sunday because you and I were both on vacation. And this is our vacation music.
Yeah, this is your announcement music.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks.
It's a new thing that I'm doing.
And Doug Kendrick took over.
Doug Kendrick preached for us. Shout out to Doug. Did a great job. He's studying to be a pastor. And did a nice job. I watched the video. It was very good. It was on our drive home from our trip. We went down to Hocking Hills. Had a nice time down there. Did some kayaking and some hiking and just generally hung out. Just Holly and I. It was a good time.
Excellent.
It was a good time. Now you, Dave. Dave, you went to Frankenmuth, Michigan.
I did go to Frankenmuth, Michigan.
And you had never been to Frankenmuth, Michigan. I
No.
informed you that this is the home of the world's largest year-round Christmas store.
Yes.
You have been trying to play it off like you weren't excited about that.
Oh, I could barely contain myself. to
I
be
know
honest.
this. I'm pretty sure you went all Buddy the Elf up there.
Yeah.
And just the Christmas spirit was palpable when you got home.
Because there's nothing more that I like better than decorating the Christmas tree at Christmas
in
and
May.
shopping.
Especially when you can do it starting in May.
Yes.
You're ready for Christmas in July.
That's right.
Heidi said, "Well, aren't you going to pick out a ornament?" And I said, "Sure."
And you just grab the first ornament.
Yes. It just so happened we were by the dog ornament place. But other than that,
just so happens that you were looking for ornaments that looks just like Chubb's. I don't believe you. You were prancing around like a little Christmas elf.
I got the layout of the place because it just goes on forever.
Yeah. I've actually never been.
And then I was done.
I've just heard.
It's just a lot of shopping and eating. So our friends kind of went shopping with Heidi, and me and another guy just kind of hung out.
There you go.
Yeah, it was.
Had a good time.
I mean, it was a nice time. Played some cards and.
There you go.
Was the
All
whole
that.
place kind of like Christmas themed? Like they had Christmas cookies?
No, the whole
and stuff
place
like that?
is Bavaria themed. So everywhere you go, there's some cool stuff like the big, horns and all that kind of thing.
What
But
are those horns called in German?
Oh.
Make it up.
Alpine Zayn.
Does it sound like this?
Yeah, recorder. So the like, there's that kind of stuff everywhere.
I hope people can hear this.
But
now.
there's always some
think so, yeah.
creepy little doll too, that like an American girl doll in lederhosen too. That part kind of freaked me out a little bit. But
Is there a name for those dolls? I forget.
creepy dolls,
In German, what is it?
creeping the Dutch. I don't know. Braxton the Hicks doll.
Oh man, that was a deep cut. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, I'm glad that you're able to have a good time. We're back this week. Pentecost Sunday, baptisms, all sorts of fun things. So it'll be really fun. Also, this Saturday. Saturday's gonna be a big day for you because we've got in the morning 8 a.m. At Emory Adams Park the World Vision 6K for clean water. So
Yes,
if you haven't
which
signed
I
up
will
yet,
support you through prayer.
Dave,
Dude, I'm coaching.
whatever.
They need me, bro.
You're gonna coach, fine. I expect you to run with each
Hey,
of those kids.
here's the great thing though is last week Gabe straight up tackled somebody in the middle of the game.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, it was a girl. So then we had to go through the you don't tackle girls thing. But I did like the aggression. Just he's stepping up his soccer game.
Wait, is there tackling in soccer? I forget.
No,
Not full on
wrap up and throw
lineman
down.
tackle. No,
Not so much.
no, not so much. It's frowned upon.
Is it against rules or just frowned upon?
At 3, it's frowned upon because
Okay.
they both cried. So then you kind of can't come down on them too hard. It is in the heat of the moment.
After all of this funness in the morning,
Yes.
you are taking the youth up to
Cedar
Cedar
Point.
Point and having a good time up there.
I
Cedar
will
Point.
ride this-
America's rockin' roller coaster.
I will ride the Starbucks all day.
Are you a roller coaster guy at all?
Steeplechase at one point
Okay.
and the Blue Streak at another.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you're doing.
Maybe the train. That's fun.
Do you remember they used to have dolphin shows up at Cedar Point?
Yes, I do.
It's been a while. They don't do that anymore,
Yes.
do they?
Yeah,
Did the dolphins escape into Lake Erie? Is that why they've stopped doing that?
my days of riding are kind of done.
Yeah, I feel that. The last time I went on a roller coaster, I got off feeling like, oh, my day's ruined. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel good anymore.
Well, last time that I rode, because I always had this thing, if you ask me to go on a ride with you, I will go. And that day was kind of misty out, and I was with a youth, and we did 14 roller coasters.
Eesh.
And by the time I drove home, Heidi said, "You look a little green, honestly."
You look peaked.
And I was sick in bed the next day. I just could not get my balance. I felt beat up. I felt, yeah.
It's good times. So
Must have swirled your brain around or something.
it must have.
That's what happened.
So they're going to Cedar Point, doing that. Then yet next day we do all the baptisms, all that fun stuff. The following week, I'm going to be working on, in case you guys didn't know, we sold our house. We're starting to move into my parents' house, which is just outside of town here. And it's funny. So my parents are moving across the road into my grandparents' house, and they've passed away. They're going to be moving over there. We're moving into my parents' house. And, bought it from them and everything. And so we've already kind of gone through that part of it. And so as your parents, you don't do the pool inspection and stuff. So I'll walk through the house with my dad, bring stuff in, and he goes, "By the way, full disclosure," he's probably said that to me maybe 20 times now. By the way, full disclosure, that toilet doesn't work. Or this roof, when it rains, just falls right in. Something like that. It's yeah, great. So,
can I get
over here,
you smell
live boa
gas?
constrictor lives in the wall. Just so you know.
Can I get all this in writing?
You smell gas. Tuck and roll.
Yeah. So we're working on getting stuff moved out there. So that's been a good time. So going out and painting some rooms tonight and all that fun stuff. I suppose we should get to the big announcement.
Ba-dun-dun-dun.
Do we have a drum roll?
I do.
Do you have a drum roll?
Would you believe it?
Oh my gosh! All
was
right.
waiting for
Big
the-
announcement. Next week, God willing, and the river don't rise, and the computer turns on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have our church chat at noon. This will be the season and series finale of church chat with Pastors Dan and Dave.
As long as one of us don't die at the end,
I don't
Is that
think
the big finale?
I don't think that'll happen.
we're good.
There may be some surprises in store, especially since we're just now talking about this. There also may be some special guests. It's hard to say. Who knows what'll happen?
Have you guys seen the movie Office Space?
Yes.
We could end this whole series by me taking all my equipment out in the field
And just beating it with a baseball bat. But so the reason we started Church Chat, and we'll get into this a little bit more next week, but the reason we started doing this is because we wanted to have a way to be able to continue to connect with folks when we weren't able to meet together and be with one another at the start of COVID. As we're winding that down, this coming Sunday, our church is fully reopened in all of its ways to pre-pandemic standards of what we were. So we'll have the coffee machines and all that stuff. If you want to wear a mask, you're still more than welcome to. The 6-foot social distancing thing, I've been trying to practice that my whole life. So feel free to keep that up. But so we're also doing this thing where we're trying to meet with people for half an hour at a time. We want to meet with everybody that wants to meet with us. So we're hoping to be able to do more of that. So what we're saying is this has been a great thing. It's time now to put the old church chat out to pasture. Who knows? It may come back.
Yeah.
From time to time for special events.
Yeah. If
or
we
special
have
occasions.
a special guest or whatever.
If we decide we want to do it, it'll be more sporadic. It won't be every week. But we've enjoyed being able to be together and doing this. It's been a really fun thing.
Well, to let you in on a little secret, one of the most frustrating things I think as a pastor is, well, you didn't go visit so-and-so. Well, I don't have a magic ball. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't have a crystal ball, so I didn't know so-and-so wanted a visit. I think this will give us an opportunity. Hey, if you want to visit with us, we're wide open. We would love
Mondays
you take us out for coffee.
Wednesdays at noon. Schedule just got wide open.
Yep.
So
and we're putting out that invitation, man. If you ever want to visit with us,
we would love
to stop by your house.
We would love to. Yep, but we just don't always know. And so Tucker likes to visit.
Tucker likes to visit with Dan, especially. I'm not sure why.
Well, I smell like bacon, probably.
Well, he's a fan.
Well, apparently. But anyway, so yes, next week will be the last of the regularly scheduled church chats. Again, there may be some more in the future, but this will be the last one for a while. So we'll go out with a bang. Actually, I've already got some ideas.
Face tattoo?
Absolutely.
I say we all bring our new puppies in.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
sure that would be fun.
That sounds fun. I think we have enough trouble keeping focus
And
as
let's
it is.
do it at the church and not my music room.
Yeah. Yes. There you go.
It should be at Dan's house.
Why? It's a disaster there right now.
I know, because we have puppies.
It's a disaster.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Add to
Whatever.
the chaos. You guys are already
Can we
having a
bring-
sleepover.
Let's bring all of the animals. Let's bring Faith and the chickens.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
I do have to say this about the chickens. We do
They've
have
got
to
new
touch
chickens.
on this.
Again?
I do have. I got new chickens. The other
We got
ones
two
got
more chickens.
The other ones got eaten in like 12 hours. But Dan helped me predator proof my cage. So I got 2 chickens. This is the funny part. I brought them home. Heidi's like, well, I like them because they're small. What she doesn't understand is this is the largest breed of chicken there is.
And they're just young.
And the guy, when I went to go get the chickens at this farm, he had the rooster, and this was a big guy too. He's a wrestler. He had to hold it like this. It was like a sheepdog. That thing was like a mini turkey. Look up Brahma chickens.
If you're lying,
They are so fat. They can't even fly over the fence. He only had an itty bitty fence.
I'm really excited to see how this turns out.
They're called Brahmas.
Can you get a leash
I
and
just
just
wanna
walk it around town?
You guys have to know that I nailed the spelling on that 100%, just like off the cuff.
Well
Nice.
done.
First try. All right.
Now-
Now I see the. Oh wow. I was gonna say I see the chickens, but none in perspective of somebody.
There's somebody holding it there on the right.
In this picture, yeah.
Those
there's
things are
somebody-
like
somebody holding
little
it.
turkeys. I mean,
You're
A
at the
buff Brahma chicken.
yeah.
wow. Well, good luck to you. Does
Yeah.
it lay like ostrich eggs?
I don't know. I mean, they're just kind of my pets right now, but
I'm excited for you. Good
yeah,
luck. Good luck. So, all right. This was eventful.
it was.
Thank you to the Honorable Judge Mark Miller for coming and being on with us. And so tune in next week for our big finale, big send-off of Church Chat with Pastor Dan and Dave and James. And
James.
So James, I'm excited to see what instrument you'll be playing
Oh, I hadn't even thought about it.
for the close for next week. We'll give you a pass this week. Just do a bunch of sound effects this week. Just
I don't really have much sitting around here.
just do a bunch of sound effects in it this week.
Okay.
But next week,
Make sure
I
I
expect big things.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Here it
See you this Sunday, 9 a.m. traditional, 11:15 contemporary service. Again, it's Pentecost Sunday. It's going to be baptisms and things. Be there. It's going to be pretty awesome. And so anything else?
Nope.
All
Be
right.
there or be circled.
You have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the warmth, and we will see you next week.
It's Church Chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
My last one wasn't so good. All right, here we go.
I like it. Have a great week, everybody.
Bloop, 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 bloop.